pushed around, always lost, not found, but I didn't realize. Like a giant standing in my way, leading me astray. Now it's time for me to rise. I knew I had to find myself. Turns out I'm on my own. I won't let it go. The right and wrong that you pretend to know. The fire in my heart, it burns in your shadow. The silver lining, it began to rust, and now I get who I can and cannot trust. I won't let it go.
I've been painting every fence I know. Every color bleeds into the same. 'Cause before you go and walk away, yeah, you better know where you're going. Hey, yeah, you're a wanderer just like me. Hey, yeah, you better know where you're going. I've been painting every fence I know. Every color bleeds into the same. 'Cause before you go and walk away, yeah, you better know where you're going. Hey, you're a wanderer just like me. Hey, yeah, you better know where you're going.
New subscriber detected.
You're a wanderer just like me. Yeah, you better know where you're going. Yeah, you better know where you're going.
Alright everyone, welcome back. I'm Winter, and it is March 20th of 2024. Thank you guys for being here so early on. Hopefully, you've had a good day so far, and hopefully it's about to get just a little bit better. Today, we're playing StarCraft with commentary. Thank you, Nijian, for 42 months. Glad you still enjoy. Since we last hit Lieutenant Mojo, Asrian, Boreal, Snow Python as well. I'm glad you still enjoy. And on YouTube, like and subscribe and enjoy. And everywhere else, I don't know where everywhere else would be. You at home or abroad, wherever you are, I'm glad you still enjoy. Yes, we continue the efforts to get, let's be honest, Grandmaster might be pushing it, but better with unit compositions that are a bit further outside the box than making Marines. They'll maybe just make, I don't know, starting to really stretch the bounds of wrong. Because if it works, is it wrong?
New subscriber detected. New subscriber
We're gonna try out the in-game tournaments for the first time in quite a while since they became AFK simulators.
I can't make it on my own steam, but it won't be long. Once in
We'll
a
see.
while, we're allowed to dream.
Otherwise,
Make it through the night. We're gonna journey to the light. We're gonna make it through.
thank you, Night Lord Nate, Mace 3, Bulbasaur, for jumping on the hype train. May it bring you joy and happiness. So something will. Hmm.
Cause we were made for this. You and me, we're gonna fly away. But we're gonna make
Two base. Ultralisk. And or Broodlords. We're gonna do the build that really frustrated me playing against,
Your dedication will
which is 2 base with a hidden base that I was maddeningly long in scouting.
mineral quantity insufficient.
But I'm gonna be the problem this time. That's the exciting part.
Not enough minerals. More minerals required. Mineral quantity insufficient.
Greetings from Croatia. Good morning. That is a bit later on the hatch.
Not enough minerals.
It's taking a third.
Mineral quantity insufficient.
What's that drone doing? They send another drone over there.
Queen birth successful.
Pretty sus, bro.
Not enough minerals. Your dedication will be rewarded.
So this is an example of why map makers want the maps to have a little bit more creep spread on the hatch.
Under attack.
So that way, like, so I can technically wall this, but
Under attack.
it doesn't work so great.
Not more overlords required.
Technically need creep spread, unfortunately.
Mineral insufficient.
One more creep spread would make it so I don't have to wall. I don't have to have a tumor to wall.
Not enough minerals. Newly. Not enough.
Uh-oh.
Insufficient and insufficient overlords. Not enough. Must spawn.
Nidus would have screwed me. Thankfully, we're in the clear.
Insufficient energy. Not Insufficient energy. Additional Vespene gas required. Swarm forces under attack. Swarm must spawn more. Swarm forces under attack required. Insufficient overlords. Swarm forces under attack. Evolution complete. Creep tumor under attack. Need
He found it.
Swarm forces under attack. Grandmaster unacceptable. Direct assault. Insufficient Vespene gas. Addition. Mineral field depleted. Swarm forces under attack. Mineral quantity insufficient. Not enough minerals. Mineral quantity. Not enough minerals. Need more Vespene gas. Swarm forces under attack. Evolution complete. Swarm forces under attack. Insufficient Vespene gas. Mineral cluster. Swarm forces under attack. Mineral field exhausted. Need more Vespene gas. Insufficient. More minerals required. Mineral quantity insufficient. Not enough additional Vespene gas required. More minerals required. Mineral quantity insufficient. Not enough minerals. Insufficient Vespene gas. Creep tumor under attack. Swarm forces under attack. Swarm forces under attack. More minerals.
Oh no. It just failed.
Minerals.
They needed to be concentrated. He found the hidden base so fast. I think I got way too fancy. Trying to do like multi-prong instead of just only lurkers. I think just taking a third would have been fine, but
More minerals required.
SCV ready.
Cannot build there. Not enough minerals.
Bad news. SCV ready.
I'm trying to think of a Terran unit that isn't viable,
In the rear.
and I'm struggling.
What's going on? Going.
It's like Reapers. No.
Bad news.
Banshees. No.
Ben, what's going on?
Widowma.
Big job, huh?
Mineral
SCV ready. Huh?
more minerals
Yeah, I fucked it up,
required.
didn't I? Think you can move here? Yeah, but it's only a one space, but still.
SCV ready. What's going on?
I still like Hellbats as like a core army composition part. I think they're not useless, but they're also like it's kind of like Void Rays where they're just better options. Is why.
Uh-huh. Go ahead. Huh? What's going on? Yo.
Bunker land all the way to his base, even up his ramp? Damn. Real engineering.
Command center upgraded.
Big job.
Additional Vespine gas
I'm going-
required.
I'm preparing for the new patch where we're gonna continue trickling. I do love we're moving. Essentially, the biggest buff to Protoss from the patch has been removed, as is customary.
All right. In the rear.
But don't worry, it's a buff that only really affected high-level players, so that's not who we're trying to target.
I'm listening. Got
The feedback rapid-fire ability.
SCV ready. What?
Don't worry, we're also changing some of the numbers on the Cyclone again, just to keep things interesting.
Cannot build there.
Yeah, because it would be ridiculous. Because the issue was, if you rapid-fire feedback, like, on the minimap, you would be able to just remove all the energy from units in an area. Like, very quickly. Of course, it would cost you energy for each one, but still. And that is far too close to Protoss having similar functionality to Terran units. Even if more costly, so.
I'm listening. What's it get from a got
Which we, as you know, is illegal.
What's it? In the rear with the gear. Reaper has arrived. Got some. I'm listening. Big job, huh? Get from a fear the Reaper. SCV ready.
More minerals required.
Nothing I. Go ahead.
Add-on constructed.
SCV ready.
These are placeholder wrecks. Alright.
Got something for me. I'm listening.
Add-on.
SCV ready. Armed and ready.
Command center upgraded.
What's it worth? FUV ready, man. Get from a. In the rear with you. Got something. What? You want something? SCV ready.
Command center upgraded. Insufficient energy.
SCV ready. On the... I'm listening.
Are those Hydras?
Ready. Oh, yeah, baby. Whole lot of pain.
Base under siege. Base
A new
under
subscriber
siege.
has been acquired.
Let's go. Big job, huh? SCV ready.
I think I'm dead.
This better be good. We could use
Enemy
some
attacking SCVs.
in the rear. SCV ready to roll out. Gateway coming through. SCV ready. Looking forward.
Command center cannot build there.
This better be good. Go ahead. SCV ready. Gateway.
You got a bit greedy.
Big win.
Not enough.
And I have 4 CCs. So, like,
Not enough minerals.
I'll give him my best shot. Ready to roll out.
Mineral.
SCV ready.
I don't really need SCVs except for repair.
Not. Add on. Insufficient energy.
SCV ready.
Mineral quantity insufficient.
SCV ready. Bad news.
More minerals required.
In the rear. Ah! You scared me.
Base under siege. It's about time.
SCV ready. Ready to roll out. SCV ready. SCV ready.
Doing some scouting.
What's going on?
Cannot build there.
By the numbers. SCV ready. Ready to raise some hell. SCV
Not.
ready to go.
Come, we'll need supply depots. They're weak and sad and die to Hydras. Meanwhile,
Supply depots.
Command Centers, on the other hand, doesn't afraid of anything.
Superior.
Go ahead.
Interesting.
By the numbers.
SCVs under attack. Insufficient speed gas.
Ready to raise some hell. Talk to me, boss. Hey, got no patience. What's our target?
Base under siege. Additional.
Ready to roll out. Ready to raise some hell. SCV ready.
Need more Vespene gas.
What's going on? Fueled up, ready to go.
Neural Parasite could be pretty devastating.
Big job. Bad news. SCV ready.
Insufficient.
SCV ready. Ready to roll out.
Mineral cluster expended.
Go ahead. Ready. Lay it on me. SCV ready. SCV ready.
If you insist.
Must build more supply depots. Base under siege. Insufficient energy.
Alright, I'll make a Thor or two.
Under siege. Supply depots insufficient.
I think that's way too much.
Superior. Landing zone.
Gonna need this planetary.
Are you ready for this? Bad news.
Could be worse. Not much worse, but worse.
I hear you.
Mineral field exhausted.
Bad news. Let's set up.
Not add-on constructed.
Huh? What's going on?
Not enough minerals.
Too much. So the beauty of this is, if I say don't participate, this is essentially what killed the, like, ladder tournaments, besides the fact that people fear competition, is the supposedly I didn't respond, so I'm AFK timer doesn't work. Notice how I said don't participate? It still says you're signed up. You might be like, I didn't even know these existed. That's because people stopped playing them because half of the matches people wouldn't show up at all. Because you could sign up within the last 2 hours. And even if you go AFK or don't participate, you're still signed up and get placed into the tournament thing. Which is not ideal. Alright, let's I can't tell what's going on, guys. So, which is it? If you're wondering why I make fun of the comments in general, I want to give you a tale in 2 parts. Part 1. What graphics settings does he use? His game looks better than mine, and I'm on Ultra. Thank you for joining. Part 2. YouTube chat. Is this Brood War? Why graphics so bad? I think both those messages were during the same minute. And the beauty is that YouTube has 1440p, so you can see all the graphics in explicitly terrible detail. These are graphic settings. I have them tuned, so essentially it stays as high FPS as possible while casting. The biggest ones are shadows and post-processing that seem to have an effect. I don't know if they actually do, but that's mostly placebo. Of course, there's only so much that takes advantage of a 4080. The excitement. This guy again. Starting to get suspicious with how much I'm getting maxed up against this Sorrow fellow. Including here. I've played him like 4 times. Out of like 20 games. Which, if it was higher level, would not be as weird. Beat him to the punch.
Mineral quantity insufficient.
SCV ready. Move it. Ah! You scared me.
More
New
minerals
subscriber
required.
detected.
73
Thank you, Stratovirus. 73 months.
Go
I
ahead.
just don't enjoy it. Delirium Protoss Marauder. Rico gifted 2 subs to the people. They gifted as well.
Supply depots.
Thank you for the
in sight.
generosity. That's the right spot. That's the right spot! Just looks weird every
What's
time.
going on? SCV ready. Big job, huh? In the rear with... SCV ready. Yo. SCV ready. Well, butter my biscuit. Go
I do
ahead.
think at most levels, well, with what I'm doing right now, it might be a slight advantage to know what I'm going for. But honestly, I don't know what I'm going for till we're decently into the game. I think stream cheating when you're
In the rear with the gear.
significantly worse mechanically is only going to get you so far. And in fact, probably screw you more than help.
Job, huh? Ah! What's going on?
Command center upgraded.
Woo-hoo! Ah! The Grim Reaper has arrived. What's it worth? SCV ready. Bad news? I'm listening. Big job, huh? Bad news? SCV ready. Got something for me to kill. The Grim Reaper has arrived. What? In the the rear with the gear, huh? SCV ready. What? Huh? Man, SCV ready. Go ahead.
Systems go. Cyclone ready for action.
SCV ready.
Add-on operational.
Big job.
Got it.
I haven't decided yet.
SCV ready.
Why did I make it like this?
This ought to be.
SCV ready.
Channels.
What's it?
Cyclone. Comms open.
Got something for me to kill. Death from a...
Don't worry, this is a Terran build, which means you can essentially just go about 7 minutes before deciding on what your actual build is, if not longer. So we had a Marauder,
Going on. SCV
which is pretty sus
Operational.
in general.
Insufficient.
Like, having one at all.
SCV ready.
We wouldn't just do a medevac drop, right?
SCV ready.
More minerals required. Additional supply depots
SCV ready.
Okay.
Huh? SCV
I'm not
ready.
sieging up the tank because I don't know where I'm gonna need to siege it.
quantity is
You want a piece of me, boy? SCV ready. Bad news.
cannot build.
SCV ready.
Ready for service.
Must build more supply. Cannot build there.
By the nose. SCV ready.
Raven online.
Who wants some?
State.
Man the rear.
Don't worry, they don't one-shot.
Waiting orders.
This better.
Scanning battle
Not
field
enough
conditions.
energy.
Gotcha.
Engine. Command.
SCV ready. Huh? Yo. Armed.
Ready. Waiting.
What's going on?
I hotkeyed my SCVs on my orbital hotkey, so I just keep stopping them.
Go ahead.
I say we buff Widowmine damage by 5.
Been waiting on some.
Alright, I think Widowmine should do more damage.
SCV
That's what I think. For no reason.
Command center upgraded.
Just like throwing it out there.
Big job. SCV ready.
I'm not even Terran. I just think the Terrans need a buff. Like Widowmines, they need a buff. That's what the Terrans need, in my opinion.
Cyclone.
State your request. Scanning battle.
Fueled up, ready to go.
This battle requires Raven
Add-on constructed.
SCV ready.
underway. Order accepted.
Mineral cluster.
SCV ready. What's going?
Ready for service.
Supply depots insufficient. Overlords superior.
Been waiting. SCV ready. SCV ready.
This vessel will comply. Understood.
Additional supply depots.
SCV ready.
Under.
Must build more supply depots.
Command. Order accepted.
Ready to roll out.
State your request. Order acknowledged. Command. Scanning
Additional
battlefield
supply depots
conditions.
required.
System. Right away.
Must build more supply depots. Supply depots insufficient.
I'm working on it.
Mineral quantity insufficient.
Immediately. Ready.
Got no patience.
More
Ship
minerals
around.
required.
SCV ready.
Command. Commencing.
Want some? SCV ready.
Additional supply depots.
We could use some help here. Ready to roll out. What? Go ahead.
Cannot build the supply command center. Cannot build there. Must build more supply depot. Mineral field depleted. Add-on supply depots insufficient. Overlords superior.
Command.
Cannot build there.
Fueled up, ready to go.
Cannot build there.
SCV ready.
Awaiting. Right away. Understood. Scanning. State your request. Ready. State your request.
We could use some help here.
Base under siege.
System. Ready.
Mineral field exhausted.
This command.
Army upgraded.
Engine.
Additional Vespine gas required.
Awaiting.
Not insufficient energy.
Scanning battlefield. State your request.
Not enough energy.
State your request. System. Ready.
Mineral field depleted.
What's going on?
Cannot build there.
Bad news?
Online.
What's our target? Going.
Command. Engine scanning back. Engineering at your disposal. Distress move.
Anywhere. Coming.
Man, going.
Ready.
SCV ready. Fueled up, ready to go. Yeah, whatever. SCV ready.
Scanning battlefield conditions. Engineering at your disposal. Command. Awaiting. State your awaiting.
Give 'em.
Region online. Engineering at
Hell
your
that.
disposal.
Coming through.
Base under siege.
What's up?
Cannot build there.
State your request. Right away.
Mineral field exhausted. Insufficient Vespine gas.
We hear you.
Scanning battlefield.
Cannot build there.
Hell back. Coming through.
Command center cannot build there.
Ready.
Big job, huh?
This battle.
Thor is here.
Cannot
Jesus.
build there.
State your
Command
request.
center upgraded.
Get off the phone!
Engineering at your disposal.
SCV ready. I hear you. Go ahead.
Ready.
Upgraded.
Awaiting scanning battlefield conditions. This vessel will comply.
Command center upgraded.
Job confirmed. This vessel required. System right of way. Order accepted.
Fueled up, ready to go. This better be good.
Command. Job. Scanning battlefield conditions. Engineering at your disposal. Underway.
Got any extra firepower?
Commencing.
Fueled up, ready to go. Ah! Just hear me. Huh? Ready to roll that.
Upgrade completed. Cannot build there. Add-on operation. Command center upgraded.
Underway. System.
Command center. No, not possible. Supply not possible. Insufficient.
Be ready.
No, not possible.
Hello.
Supply limit.
Coming through.
Vespine geyser depleted.
State your request.
One.
Scanning battlefield.
SCVs
Slow but
under
surely.
attack. Cannot build there. Not enough. Command center upgraded.
Ah! Just hear me.
Ready. Understood.
Mineral field exhausted.
SCV ready.
This vessel requires
Insufficient energy.
system. Awaiting your request.
Need something.
Battlefield ready.
You gonna give me orders?
State your request. Underway. Awaiting engineering at your disposal.
The siege tanks were walled in? I think. Something like that.
Go ahead.
Cannot build there.
Yep.
Ready for this. Scanning battlefield conditions.
Usually one combat shield.
State
I'm
your
going.
request.
Add
Or Marines.
army upgraded.
Underway. Immediately. This vessel.
SCVs command center upgraded.
He has +3 weapons and no armor.
Cannot build there.
Big job, huh? We hear you. Ready.
operational.
Yo,
Cannot build there. Vespene geyser exhausted.
Combat right away.
huh?
Online. Ready for scanning battle engineering at your disposal.
Command center.
Kill your better halves. They get very jealous of the permanent turrets. Woo!
Under siege.
Okay.
Hot footing up.
Ready.
Big job.
Field exhausted.
Hellbat coming through. In the rear with the gear.
Mineral field depleted.
This battle requires assistance. Understood.
FPV ready.
Order state you're ready.
Center. Base under siege.
That makes it more interesting.
Come and fight me.
Mineral cluster expended.
This vessel
You gonna give me orders?
online. Any battle
Not enough energy.
ready for this.
Some fire here.
Base under siege. Cannot build.
This vessel requires assistance.
Cannot build there.
Scanning battlefield conditions.
Huh? Yeah. Bad
Base
news.
under siege.
Thor is here.
Ready to plunder.
Sufficient energy. Command center upgraded. Base under siege.
Ready to plunder.
Base under mineral field exhausted. Cannot build there.
In the rear. Huh?
Cannot
Under
enemy attacking SCVs.
Get me back.
scanning battlefield conditions.
Mineral field depleted.
Awaiting order.
Upgrade.
Ready to plunder.
Thor is here.
Combat engineering. Ready for the scanning battle.
I am ready. Big job, huh?
Ready for service. State your engineering battlefield.
Base under siege. No, not possible. Supply limit reached. Exhausted.
Transformation system prime. Burn and pillage. Certainly. Let's get into the fight.
Got something for me. What's going Roger. Ready to render. You scared me.
Army upgraded.
Made for battle.
Additional Vespine gas required.
I hear you.
Command center upgraded.
Lay it on. Speak up. Go ahead. In the rear with the gear. I held out.
Cannot build there.
Go ahead.
Need more Vespine gas.
What's going on?
Cannot build there.
Bad news? Ah! You scared me.
Insufficient energy.
Huh? Can't wait. I hear you. Talk to me. What's the stuff? Get it. Go ahead.
Tournament games have a 25-minute time limit, so that way we're not waiting for years. Which I don't think he noticed in the top left corner. Usually, 25 minutes is a significant outlier. But I didn't expect the battle cruisers, but on less bases against Raven Mech, the anti-armor missile does almost nothing for the Thors because the single target mode is like so much damage. But it doesn't hurt, and it's intimidating. It makes them feel sad. How does it determine the winner? It's XP gained, which is simply a measure of how much you've built and mined and like killed. It's essentially the score screen. It's not perfect, but like, since nobody, like, it's not used for anything but these in-game tournaments nobody plays. Unless they see a streamer playing an in-game tournament, apparently. So, like, that is my experience in the past as well, so.
A new subscriber.
Thank you,
has
Design
been
Sensei,
joined.
gifting to the people. Thank you for the generosity. Honestly, I should have just gone Raven Viking. Mass Raven is not... You can no longer unleash a Seeker missile, like 6 Seeker missiles to blow up every single army. A Raven, another unit. I think we finally settled on it, even though it kind of got ninja buffed, but we've kind of settled on where it should be. I think it's in an okay spot. The turret always... honestly, the auto turrets feel so weird. But not necessarily imbalanced, but the fact you have to, like, go over to the location and drop it down, I guess. I guess it makes some sense. Free units should be bad. It depends. I mean, auto turrets, back in the day, back in my day, auto turrets used to last, like 4 minutes. But they did less DPS than a Marine. So, like Wings of Liberty, you can fill the map. What a match. Now that is my normal... And as you can see, the finals will begin. Like I said, the only people who actually... Like, some people might sign up, but the only people who play are seeing the streamers play. We'll see. The other match was a forfeit win as well. So, I think it's just like it randomly decides if both players forfeit, aka don't ready up. It just randomly decides. And the biggest issue at the end of the day is that the AFK timer doesn't work. It never has for 9 years. Like, they added these to the game, which are glorified ladder matches. And they added a prompt that said, would you like to play? Like, confirm. Like, with 5 minutes left, you get a check-in. Except it's never actually mattered. If you sign up and then literally, like, you can sign up and then log out an hour before the tournament, and it'll still put you in the tournament. You won't lose ladder points because you're not playing any games, but you'll still show up. And that is why these never really... like, at first, people would play them, at least some of them, and then others, like, people would sign up and then kind of forget about it, and then it got to be so much of this that, unfortunately, it essentially becomes an AFK simulator. It may very well be the only match played was the one that we just did. Which, this is such a missed opportunity for, you know, actual, like, in-game competition aside from number go up on the ladder. But so lazily implemented. It feels like something that they had good, like, cool ideas for, but since you can't really monetize... No, I'm not gonna blame it on that. I think it was just... They essentially adapted the 1v1 ladder. So all these matches count as ladder matches. If they're played. If they're just a forfeit, they don't count as anything. They're not like special ladder matches. They literally are just ladder matches where you know your opponent beforehand. No, but if there were actual rewards, well, the thing is people are desperate and have always been desperate for any sort of metric of improvement that isn't just getting better. Because that is a very general term. Like, getting to the next league is all well and good, but for some people feels like a endless and impossible climb. A real Sisyphus situation. What kind of reward? You get a little trophy, and number goes up on the trophy wins. And there definitely could have been more. I think the argument at some point was... Well, if you incentivize it, people will, like, game it. Like, and they'll, like... But the thing is, people are always gonna game it. They game the ladder. Like, I'm gaming the ladder right now. So... And they were very against adding this sort of, like, freemium currency. Like Heroes of the Storm has. Like, some might argue Heroes of the Storm actually gives way too much away. I've seen that, like, and there you go. So I think the only match that was played. Yep, I did it. That's how you do it. All right. What I'm at, we did it. That's an unconventional way of taking it home. Is that's outside of the meta. Just don't play, bro. There's no downside to dropping tournament matches, but they're worth ladder points. Dropping, like, if you lose the match, you lose ladder points. But if you don't play the match, no match was played, so you don't win or lose anything. But it essentially just matches you up like it's the ladder. So there is some stakes, I guess. But there are so many reasons why I never really, slate open. Alright. Masters with 3,700 MMR. That explains a lot. Yeah. Giving things you signed up for is shitty. No, it's not necessarily on people. The 5-minute timer should work. If very simply, that 5-minute timer, you didn't click ready, it should remove you from the tournament. I don't blame people for signing up, but that's why every online tournament has a check-in system. And this has a check-in system. It just, like so many things, just doesn't fucking work. Like, it just doesn't, it doesn't work. Like, the idea is there. It just doesn't work. If it worked, I think it would be fine. Like, then you'd have active tournaments where people participate. And while you might get lucky and, like, sneak to a win in a GM tournament or something, I think it is more satisfying to actually play. Because I think part of the reason the casual base, and by casual I mean still competitive but not sterile, like, there's no support for Diamond Leaguers to be competitive. Like, actually compete. Because if you do real tournaments, like with money on the line, then you have to vet everyone for being exactly this MMR. Like, essentially you have to figure out their weight class kind of shit. But the in-game tournaments have an automated system. On paper, it's a great idea. But unfortunately, in practice, this bodes well.
Not enough minerals. Mineral quantity insufficient.
SCV ready.
Yeah, this was the issue. So, many moons ago,
Minerals required.
SCV ready.
I ran, or at least I would cast a bronze, silver, gold tournament. And the reward for winning the tournament was I'd do an hour of coaching. Yes, many moons. Like, actual coaching. It was less than a month of this weekly tournament before essentially the finals were always at least Diamond Leaguers. And I'm like, I'm barely that, like, they were gold. But, like, I'm like, I can tell.
SCV ready.
That was it. There was no other prize. It was just coaching for me, who was gonna be like, hey, you're not gold. Like,
What's going on?
so. I think it's partially people desperate for any sort of, like, well, I guess really the reward was me casting the fight, because I did it, and then I'm like, the entire time I'm like,
You scared me.
I don't know, Kev.
Vespine gas.
Was the coaching streamed? I don't remember. Some of it maybe, but
Roger.
I think it only was a couple weeks of that before I'm like, well, this was a fun idea that was ruined immediately.
You scared me.
Command center upgraded.
Because then, like, immediately it became every single player claiming their opponent. Well, not every single player, but, like,
Ready.
a strong minority of players claiming their opponent was higher than gold, which most of them weren't. But all it takes is, like, 2 or 3 people, and then
Must build more supply depots.
this was one of the pivotal moments in developing what would become Angry Coach. Yes.
Additional
Examples like this are why Angry Coach eventually
Got something for me to kill.
became the default.
In the rear with death from above.
Oh my. If I had gotten away, that would have been the most perfect.
Go ahead.
But I didn't. Every single leg. And the queen. But unfortunately now, those things are coming across the map. And I'm in Trouble Town.
add-on constructed.
We'll sacrifice that one. For the greater good, SCV.
They need more Vespine gas. Command center upgraded.
Ah, you scared me. By the number. Huh? SCV ready.
Add-on operational.
Think he built more? Or gambling he didn't.
Who wants some? Arm. This SCV ready. Ready to raise some hell. What's going? Go ahead. In the ring.
Not enough energy.
I'm killing.
Mineral quantity insufficient.
Ready to raise some hell. SCV ready.
Command center, more minerals required.
I'm dropping all the mules in the main so they don't get sniped.
Not enough.
Ready to raise some hell. This better be good.
Mineral quantity insufficient.
SCV ready. Light it up. Huh? Bad news.
More minerals required.
SCV ready.
Oh, it's a fucking crab!
SCV ready.
I'm like, I saw something moving like a Zerg.
What's going on? Are you ready for SCV ready? Talk to me, boss.
Supply depots insufficient. Cannot.
Crabs all the way down.
Raise some hell. Wait. Light it up. SCV ready. Where's the hot action? SCV ready.
Enemy attacking SCVs.
Sound sweet. Ready. I'm going in. Do this. Good. SCV ready. SCV ready.
Receiving.
Ready to raise some hell. Ah, that scared me.
Cannot build there.
Ah,
Confirmed. Can do.
SCV ready. SCV ready. Big job. Light it. Ready to raise some hell.
there's just so many drones. It'll be a shame if something happened to them.
Engine screaming.
Ready to raise some hell. Ready to raise some hell.
Spire?
SCV ready.
Bane speed.
Loud and
We're gonna do Thor drop Hellions.
Go ahead.
Boomy has Thor hammer.
Hell. SCV ready.
So, kind of messed up the timing, but still.
Bad news.
Like, it's way earlier on the armories. So you can go Hellbats a little bit. But the idea's there. The spirit, if not the in practice. This was a popular build for a year or so. Not popular, but like definitely. Like Beck is coming back again apparently.
Mineral cluster.
I don't know what's up with that.
SCV ready.
Landing
All right,
zone
was
obstructed.
bio not working?
Add-on operational. Insufficient vessel.
SCV ready. Up out here. Talk to me. Here we go.
He's not on creep. He can't transfuse.
In the rear with gear. Go ahead. Got any extra firepower? Gotcha.
Yeah, I'll read you, sir.
Ready for SCV is here.
I only built one.
More Vespine gas.
Confirm. SCV ready. SCV ready.
Your dedication will be rewarded. Additional Vespine gas.
SCV ready.
I heard that.
Stop.
Ready.
Let's stop right there.
Additional supply depots required.
I'm going.
Supply depots insufficient. Overlord.
Ready for dust off.
Thor is here.
Loud and clear.
No.
Now what?
Must build more supply depots. Base.
Ready. What's going on? Ready to raise some hell. SCV ready.
SCVs under attack.
Now what? Ready for pickup? Here.
SCV ready.
Upgrade completed.
Where's the emergency? Wait, no.
Minerals cannot build there.
Ah! You scared me. That big job, huh? SCV ready. Go ahead. Yes, sir.
Life flight?
More minerals required.
Turbines.
Picking up or dropping off? Somebody, get me out of this mess. Now what?
SCV ready.
Life flight's here.
I lost the medevac.
Not enough minerals.
I am here.
Talk to me. Loud and clear.
SCV ready. Ready to raise
ETA?
in the rear with the gear. I am heavy metal. SCV Thor is here. What's the story?
Supply depots insufficient. Overlords superior.
Confirm. Where's the emergency?
SCV ready.
You know, don't waste your time on the damn ovies.
Picking up or dropping off?
Mineral field exhausted.
I'm wasting away. What's
Must
going
build
on?
more supply depots. SCVs under attack. Additional supply depots required. Base under siege. Army Supply depot base under siege. SCVs under attack. Additional Vespene gas required. Enemy attacking must build more supply depots. Vespene gas. SCVs under attack.
Heavy measures. Thor is here. What's going? Got somebody on here.
Insufficient Vespene gas.
SCV ready. SCV.
Additional Vespene gas required. Need more Vespene gas.
Inbound.
Command center. Supply depots insufficient. Overlords superior mineral field. Insufficient Vespene gas. Must build more supply depots.
Loud and clear.
Mineral cluster expended.
Will do now. Well, hallelujah. Waiting on you. Ready for pickup?
Additional supply depots required.
Taking effort, dropping off. Somebody, get me out of this mess. Here's your stop. Inside, 5x5.
Vespene gas.
Here. SCV ready. Been waiting on you.
Waiting on you.
I hear.
Somebody, get me out of this mess.
SCV ready. Get me back.
Bit dicey. I am here. Click me. Thor's like a elephant in a tutu. With tutu.
Taking effort, dropping off.
SCV ready.
Here's your stop.
I don't think I had that many upgrades at the end, but something like that. Superintendent Dwayne, the ice. 6 roaches, 23 zerglings, 12 drones, a larva, a spore, and a queen. Thors cannot dodge novas. Laughs inside Medivacs. A bunch of Kaczynski portraits out tonight. Always suspicious. That's why. Carriers plus mothership wreck Thors. Funny. Have you not seen my low energy shorts where people will debate balance when watching 600 supply of units fight each other on the open field? God. It's learning time. Alright, let's get some realistic upgrades first. Let's say... Well, let's do maxed out upgrades. Because usually when you have mass Thor versus carrier, it's gonna be maxed out. We'll even give the carriers maxed out.
You scared me.
Alright, here. 10 Thors. 10 carriers. Fight! Wait, no. High impact mode, of course. Micro the carriers away. Oh, but mothership. We're gonna assume we're not gonna use the cloaking field because any Terran worth their copious amounts of salt will have 17 orbitals by this point. But we could use... So the problem here is the leash range. So in order to launch the interceptors, you have to go to, like, about 10 range. The Thors have 11 anti-air range. So that means you have to be... The times when the Thors aren't so great are if they're able to launch all the interceptors while out of range of the Thors. I miss the days when interceptors would be targeted. Yeah, I advocated for this change, which is units will automatically target the carrier in range. I still think it's a good change. I just think other less annoying units of the Protoss should be buffed. But instead, we kind of nerfed the carrier countering everything. And then didn't buff anything else. But, you know, classic. Here, how about we add 5 more carriers? So now we have 96 supply of Sky Toss against 10 Thors. I'm gonna micro the Thors into range a bit. I think this is the reason why many people will be like, well, look, they're so strong. Because, yeah, near maxed out RB supply of mass carrier. But if we had 5 more Thors, which is still less supply, I might add. But we don't fight on the open field, Winter. Exactly. But carriers do. So, the point of this is to point out that carriers, and now what if I target? Carriers do not actually really counter Thors. Not using Time Warp. What a noob. By no means do they, and I quote, wreck Thors. They may be able to kind of zone them out and overwhelm, but wreck Thors is a bit of a strong statement. I think what that really means is, usually when I see carriers, they have 12 of them, and I have 3 Thors. A lot of the times, the opinions of carriers are heavily skewed by the fact many players do not see them until there are already too many. And that is a big difference. So, what wrecks Thors? Other Thors? Duh. Immortals? No. Immortals are good, but not great. Queens. Like, Zerg, like, essentially what wrecks Thors is covering them. is flooding them with like Zerglings, Marines, Zealots. They will prioritize air units automatically. That's how they work. But, so that means a ground army can actually do quite well. Like if you have, that's actually why it's kind of good to have like 6 Brood Lords or 6 carriers. I think that's about the number. Because that way things like Thor's get bogged down and not fighting the ground army. Let's see Thor's versus Immortals. Yes, let's recreate all these shorts. So this one is upgrade dependent. And also the Immortals pound for pound, if they're able to target the Thors, do win. Immortals are very good at countering specific things. Do I need to bring up the Carbot again?
Big job, huh?
Okay, let's do a more realistic fight here, which is like 10v10. And this is, to be clear, cheaper for the Protoss. Well, but upgrades are important because upgrades scale with damage. That's a key point. Upgrades scale with damage. Armor does not. Like, for example, this is I actually want to... I'm not making a new video about the patch changes, but I'm going to go back to my balance changes in a moment, because the Immortal is involved. But let's give them +3 and then +1 armor and shields. And the Thors have 2-1. These are realistic game upgrades. We'll give them 2-2. Because armor's not going to do shit anyways. So now they're doing 65 damage against armored. The Thors are up to 36. I believe they get 3 per attack. Shouldn't you match the supply cost and not the unit count? Not exactly. When was the last time you've seen more than 10 Immortals? So, it's a bit like... Now, the big difference here is both sides. A more realistic fight would be here. Throw 5 Archons, 10 charge lots. And then for Terran, you got... In this case, we're just going to go... There you go. 80 supply on both sides. We're going to give Blue Flame to the Hellbats. We're going to give Charge to the Zealots. This is a much more, like... realistic mech versus Protoss fight. The Archons actually absorb a ton of damage, is a key point here. And that allows the Immortals to break through. And this is why Immortal Archon Charge Lot is such a huge deal. Like, Archons are just so beefy. So then you add in 2 Ghosts.
Go ahead.
Your dedication will be rewarded.
Everyone knows that all Protoss need to be balanced to give them violence.
Looks like the Imba Protoss still win. Alright. So,
Talk to me.
let's trade out a Thor. Instead, we'll get 6 Ghosts with no upgrades. A Thor and some Hellbats. Same amount of supply, units with less upgrades. And This is the reason why TVP is a disaster. All I did, I traded out on paper worse well, you know what? Let's just get rid of the Hellbats entirely. Just straight up Thors. The Hellbats were serving an important purpose. Alright. There should be... What's realistic is there's like 6 Liberators with range behind. Is the more realistic, because nobody's building mass Thor against Protoss. The time to build... So the beauty of it is how this all started, which is carriers wreck Thors, except the only time you really build Thors against Protoss is to deal with carriers and Tempest because of their direct target anti-air mode. Not to counter Immortal Archon. Yes, so Ghosts. So, this brings us to the newest patch changes. AKA the newest update to the patch changes. Where are we? So, I'm not going to go over all the other changes, but the Infestor further nerfed. The High Templar, so the Protoss, the feedback change. So the change to feedback was you could no longer feedback units with no energy. So that was, which works for rapid fire. The very short version is, before, if you just dragged your feedback, like corrosive biles, over the army, you would feedback everything, but you might catch things multiple times, which would drain all your feedbacks very quickly. Now, you could just kind of sit there and wipe out energy without being inefficient, because it takes 2 seconds, a little bit under 2 seconds, for a unit to generate energy. So if you rapid fire out all your feedbacks in 1 second, you won't overwrite it. So that was removed because Protoss having the ability to just wipe out all the energy of the units in an area would be too OP. But we are keeping, though, very importantly, the Raven change, which allows Ravens to rapid fire. So the complaint here I saw was that for Zerg especially, it made it essentially impossible to deal with Sky Toss in the late game. Okay, so what we're trying to target is PvT. So this is Devil's Advocate here. We're trying to target Protoss versus Terran, and this affects, honestly, Zerg as much or more, because Protoss versus Zerg is in a pretty good spot overall. Some of the most entertaining, maybe at the very bleeding edge, the Serral level, obviously, well, but the point here is, though, and that's it, we just remove it, and that, like, the thing is about feedback, it still costs 50 energy per cast. So feedback, like, I still want to go back to give some feedback myself. Part of the reason feedback was originally nerfed, it used to do 1 damage per energy, which would be enough in many cases to one-shot units. Like an Infestor has 90 HP. If it has over 90 energy, there it goes. Ghost, 100. All right. But it was nerfed to half damage per energy, which means it was almost impossible. So another change that was made because feedback was so solid was the Battlecruiser energy bar. The battlecruiser used to use energy for its abilities, but things like feedback would just wipe them out. So in order to buff the battlecruiser, which was relatively underused, we removed the energy bar and made it cooldown based. And then, after that, feedback was nerfed to do less damage per point of energy removed. The battlecruiser still doesn't have an energy bar. Just an example of things that have happened with feedback. So the point here is, and where's the buff? We're trying to buff Protoss against Terran, and the only buffs right now are the Sentry Light attribute. Ignore that, because that's irrelevant. Which helps them against Hellions and Hellbats and Banelings. So this is actually more of a PvZ change, not that it matters much. Honestly, both these changes are almost entirely PvP. Pylon, sight range increase. Okay. The Observer build time and shields. I do love the... now observers won't die in incidental Widowmine damage. I'm gonna come up with a crazy idea here, which is why don't we buff Protoss in Protoss versus Terran by buffing Protoss? You know what? I know it sounds crazy. Adepts too? Ah, yes, I forgot how Adepts against Sentries would affect Protoss versus Terran. Because even in the, like, improve the state of Protoss versus Terran, mainly accomplished by changes to Terran units. Changes to Terran units are how we got here in the first place. Okay, talk about the Cyclone thing. So the Cyclone is now just nerfed. So it now just has less damage, and it's less responsive. And we changed this for people who were complaining that the Cyclones don't have thrusters. I like the idea we just slap a rocket on the back. I thought that was cool. This is, like, stop with the fucking Cyclone. Holy shit! We're over here for, like, a full-on year now, on top of all of the years before. The thing that gets me is we did this before. 2017 or 18, I don't know. But I know many of these pro players participating remember when we went back and forth on the Cyclone, and it ended up being the same, like, at the end of the day, it turned back into a similar unit as it started, which is a niche, kind of expensive, like, early game sniper. We've tried before, like, many years ago, to make the Cyclone into, like, a core spammable unit. It didn't work. It just made for a bunch of lopsided, kind of cheesy games. And wasn't really a great core unit in the later game anyways. So now, we're destined to do it again, apparently. Like, and at the end of the, like, stop. 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 Please. Please just stop. The point here is, even if that feedback change was OP, why are we why are we removing it? Like, why is it whenever we're changing something that may or may not be good, maybe we'll go back later, why did the Terran changes make it into the game? And the Protoss changes are removed before, let's be honest, 99.9% of you didn't touch the fucking PTR, so you have no idea. Like, the Protoss changes that might be interesting, might be strong, are removed before they even see the light of day. But the Terran changes, oh, whoop-de-fucking-do, we're dicking around with Cyclones again for like the third time in 6 years. What the fuck? Stop! Give Protoss something cool. Like, 27 gigabytes per PTR because it's a different version of the same game. It's like, also, It's 2024. Call of Duty is 10 times. I don't know why I'm responding to that. That's dumb. Also, you could have just played the balance mod on live server as well. But I digress. Okay, so what would I change? Here's my... I'm going to copy paste the changes into a Google Doc. And I'm going to make my changes. Not my angry changes. Okay, I have many of those. Not that. Oh, cool. It even copy paste. I didn't know it would copy paste the GIFs as well. How cool is that? All right. Here we go. I'm gonna... How do I do a cross out? On... the delete button. No, I want to cross it out so it's clear. I'm getting rid of it without... Ah. Oh, that looks terrible. That's enough of this shit. Here, just italicize it. With a red background. No, not text. Make it red. If it's red, it's bad. Done. The rest of the changes for Terran, we'll leave them. All right? Cool. All right. I'm trying to make the changes without changing the theme of what we're apparently trying to do. But in my opinion, what we could, like, these are not necessarily, I think, a finalized version. But, like, let's try it. Anyways. Versus. Okay, wait. Alt-Shift-5, really? Mechanical. There. Now we have a counter to the fucking Cyclone. If we really care about that. Something. You now build the observer out of your nexus, so it doesn't take robo time. You do have to decide between probes and observers, but not between not dying and observers. Mm-hmm. I know, this sounds crazy. How about the sentry not wandering into the fight? The example I give you is every single sentry in co-op. What does it do when it's rooted? Everything it was doing before, it just can't move. The only bonus here is that, like, it works with select all army, and your sentries don't just walk in and die. Because they have less range than all robo units and stalkers. So they just end up in front of them, and then they die in front of them. Honestly, if we had these things... you know what? I'd just take the damn Cyclone thing. I can't believe it. The end result is just... stop fucking with the Cyclone. But here we are. Apparently impossible challenge. Like, that's without even... Like, go back to changing the bunker. How about that? All right, bunker 3 seconds faster. Get bunker rushes back on the menu. Let's go. Let's see here. What did they do wrong with the Cyclone? Anything. It was fine. There was nobody was like, the Cyclone just is never used for anything. It has no role and therefore needs to be changed. Like, I don't understand. Like, somebody clearly wants the Goliath. Are you able to make these changes through a mod? I already have a balance patch mod, though it goes a little further than that. I could make pro players try it, but pro players don't give a shit about these things, like, actually, until they're on the ladder and in tournaments. There might be a handful, but the majority will be like, oh, money? And then be like, wait, why is my X or Y unit not working right? Or like, what is this map? Can I wall off?
Not enough.
I think the exceptions are like Scarlet. Well, Scarlet is a pro player, but she's also a balance designer. The Cabal. Like, Scarlet makes mods and stuff too. So she is probably the leading pro player who actually understands the mechanics of the game, like the literal editor and how it works. Whereas most pro players, like, I'm not confident over 50% would know how to open the map editor. Like, it would take some time for which, like, that's not their job, okay? But just for reference.
Enemy assaulting drones.
Their job is to win tournaments, which is why it could be probably considered a pretty dramatic conflict of interest to be the one deciding what strategies are good in tournaments, but... So, in Maru's interview with Crank, he says the only player that he struggled, like, the only player who seems to make Burrowed Infestors look good, and that he struggles with, is Cyril. Just coincidentally, this next patch, we're nerfing Burrowed Infestors. I think we're crediting, like, that has to be directly, just like Beyond got the Reaper nerfed, I think Cyril, like, I would say almost all the Zerg nerfs have been kind of low-key Cyril nerfs. Like, we're not saying it, but I feel like on this point it's kind of mask off.
Under attack.
Like, this is for Cyril. This is for you, Cyril. And only you.
Unacceptable.
Because, like, no, it's literally just going to make it harder for everyone else to use a unit that they weren't really succeeding with on a regular basis before.
Mineral quantity insufficient.
Like, the Baneling nerf doesn't seem to have done much against with Cyril.
Birth
So we gotta try a new unit.
Not enough minerals. More minerals required. Mineral quantity insufficient.
Fungal range getting increased. Ah, yes.
Enough minerals. Must be morphed on creep.
So that's the buff for the rest of us.
Insufficient.
That's a buff, I guess, for the use cases of people who aren't Cyril.
Required. Not enough.
Which is because they never have their infestors quite in position, right? Like, Cyril always does. He's always within 10 range, but not within 5. Just far enough that he always gets the money fungal without being hit immediately by every unit. So they may have successfully targeted
Energy.
Cyril specifically.
Not enough mineral. Mineral quantity insufficient. More.
Mine nerf equals Clem nerf.
Not enough.
The mine nerf is not going to matter much. I mean, even Clem and MaxPax said that, like, Pig hosted a show match between them where Clem won 4-0. And MaxPax, well, the thing is, MaxPax was already reacting maybe against Zerg. So here's the thing. It is a bigger nerf, I think, against Zerg than it is against, or I mean against Terran. No, against Zerg. I couldn't figure out what I was thinking. Than it is against Protoss, because the splash damage radius doesn't matter that much except for, like, dropping the mineral line, and it still hits a lot of probes. So, like, it might hit a couple less, but the same purpose applies. But against Zerg, hitting those, like, extraneous lings
Not enough energy.
will now be a lot easier. Or harder, rather. I don't think it's going to be a huge one. My proposal, which is far too dramatic, obviously, we need to work on the Cyclone, we don't have time for this, is make the mine do less damage, but also have a slow effect. So it doesn't one-shot workers, but is a zone control option.
Not enough
Concussive
energy.
mine.
Sequences.
Like, does like 20 damage, so 2 shots lings and workers, but also has like a AoE Marauder slope. That way it wouldn't just be, surprise, your units are all dead, but you can use it to take advantage.
Insufficient. Not enough energy.
It still one-shots. It still has the single target damage that kills things like oracles, which are literally 3 times the resources. But the splash damage is less.
Swarm has evolved. Mineral field depleted. Hive cluster under direct assault. Enemy assaulting drones. Mineral cluster expended.
What if I made more adepts?
Command unacceptable. Command unacceptable.
Pretty crazy strat.
Swarm forces under
Oh, stalkers now. Take it back.
Command. Mineral field. Swarm forces under attack. Insufficient energy. Mineral field depleted. Insufficient Vespine gas.
Oh.
Swarm forces under attack.
How many drones do I have?
Structure must be placed
96. Oh.
on. Evolution complete.
It's a bit high.
Must spawn more overlords.
At the end of the day, why is it that everything that looks like a cool Protoss buff never even makes it to the game, whereas Terran changes, we'll wait and see.
Command unacceptable.
I think we all know.
Creep tumor under attack. Swarm forces under attack. Cluster expended.
It's pretty clear why. Depends on how conspiracy, well, how cabal conspiracy.
Successful.
I'm on board with some of the Zergs being like, oh, we want to nerf the Widow Mine? Sure. As well. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if there are some non-Serral Zergs. As Serral's actually the balance. You know, if he wanted to, I bet he could, like, social engineer the entire balance council to get exactly the changes he wanted. He's like, and then they'll nerf the Infestor, but they'll buff the Widow Mine, and then my Muta builds will be strong again. Twirls non-existent mustache.
Evolution. Creep tumor under attack. Creep tumor under attack. Swarm
You know,
forces under attack.
What if we paid Cyril 200k a year? Alright, to make a balanced game. And his bonus would be
Under attack.
if the win rate for everyone but him for all the races was approximately the same. Alright.
No, not possible. Supply limit reached.
Alright, it's gotta be enough
Forces
that
under
winning
attack.
tournaments. Our balanced dictator.
Mineral field. Need more Vespine gas. Command unacceptable.
Wouldn't it pay more to just landside every tournament? So first place, while the tournaments may have like 500k prize pool, the first place is usually like 150. But if Cyril does win the two 500k tournaments this year, that is significantly more than 200. So that's the... Then again, we seem to keep nerfing him. And he seems to keep winning anyway, so... Like, the new Infestor nerf specifically targeted at Cyril. The Baneling nerf. Could have nerfed every Zerg, but you know what? Didn't have nearly the effect I thought it would. Well, a lot of lower tier Zerg struggle still. Because you have to be near perfect mechanically to compete with a equal tier like Terran and Protoss.
Unacceptable.
But the ceiling is so high for Zerg that at the end of the day,
Acceptable. Depleted. Swarm forces under attack. Mineral field exhausted. Mineral cluster expended.
another round.
Mineral field depleted.
I have 123 drones. I just don't know where.
Insufficient Vespine gas. Sequences spun. No mineral field exhausted. No, not possible. Reached. No, not possible. Supply limit reached.
I think my APM might be a bit high on that one. So, You know what I think the real issue is? I'm gonna talk to the heart of it.
Possible. Supply limit.
I can
Mineral
barely
cluster
cast TVP anymore.
expended.
It's not because I can't, but statistically, people are starting, like, it's starting to become like mirror matchups where people just assume it's not going to be a good match. And a lot of the time, it's harder to find. Like, I go through pretty much every pro game played and kind of, like, pick out games to cast.
Mineral field depleted.
And TVP, just... The problem is, the armies are so dangerous to each other. Like, Disruptors, Widowmines, EMP Liberators, there's a lot of I win or I lose.
Mineral field
ZVP
exhausted.
doesn't have this because there aren't nearly as, like, full-on... Like, Lurkers don't hard counter. You see Protoss deal with them directly. At the same time, Disruptors have counters as well. Like, Sky Toss can work, but it's not the be-all end-all. But the fact is that TVP feels like there's like an early game fight, and then we sit in our base for like 5 more minutes, give or take. And then we max out and fight again. It's just boring. Like, you could talk about the little... Sometimes you have like a back and forth, maybe you have like a 2 base timing, but you feel a bit frustrated? Yeah, because my bias is in showing good games, all right? Because that's how my biscuit is buttered. I make more money, especially on YouTube, if it's entertaining to watch.
Mineral cluster expended.
And right now, it is simply less
Mineral field exhausted.
profitable to cast TVP most of the time. Because I can see the clear, like, one, because there are only 2 Protoss who even have a chance of winning. And 2, the only time they have a chance of winning is, it feels like gimmick strategies, which is like blink
Mineral
or
cluster
like warping in
expended.
DTs at the right time, like with Mass Disruptor. And that's how the games go. Like, otherwise it's like sitting back for 20 minutes building Sky Toss. The 2 Protoss are Max Pax and Hero. And that is it. That is the end of list. So you might be like, well, what does that even mean? So here are the top 10 players. Now, Max Pax is always an odd one. You're like, well, 2 Protoss in the top 5. Pretty good, right?
Mineral
Well,
field
let's
depleted.
let's go a little deeper.
Mineral cluster expended. Mineral field exhausted.
What's Dark doing in 7th? He dropped out of GSL, 2 Protoss. Like, Dark in his interview said he had no idea what he's doing in CVP. He just kind of does some random stuff, which, you know, explains a lot. But he actually did get kind of outplayed in GSL. So I think dropping GSL is obviously
No, not possible.
not hurting in that
Supply
rating.
limit reached.
2 in the top 14. Yeah, so we have 2 Protoss essentially holding up. And one of them is not even really there. Because Max Pax doesn't play offline tournaments. Maybe someday that will change. It's still kind of like not understood exactly. Like, he hasn't exactly said why. He just has declined tournaments. Which, like, that's your right. But it's kind of weird. To say the least. So that certainly doesn't... But yeah, it's just, so my bias is wanting more people to watch my videos. And I'll tell you right now, YouTube makes more than Twitch. Wait, as generous as you guys are. By a pretty decent margin. So, like, I am looking and have spent more than a year now of dedicated casting on YouTube. And TVP, like, TVZ has always been number 1. Like, it depends on the players, depends on the clickbait. But generally, TVZ has always been number 1. ZVP is a close second right now. Like Terran versus Zerg, because, you know, like, that's box art. And then Zerg versus Protoss is caught up. And now Terran versus Protoss is... It's dropped down. Like, mirror matchups are the lowest.
Your dedication will be rewarded.
Yeah, you can clickbait it however you want, but a lot of people will tune in, see it's a mirror matchup, and then tune out. I can see the metric, like literally after 15 seconds, how many people tune out. And it's significantly higher with mirror matchups once they figure it out. Even in ZVZ? What do you mean even in ZVZ? Especially in ZVZ. People will watch Cyril. Like, Cyril is an outlier in everything. Cyril, I can cast... Even Cyril ZVZs do worse than the other matchups. But Cyril, it's like Cyril, and then everything else. And Cyril ZVZ is lower, but it's Cyril. So, like, as much as people complain, it's a spoiler when he's in the match, which is kind of true. It doesn't matter. It's like watching Wayne Gretzky or LeBron James. I think Wayne Gretzky is probably the best comparison. He's just such an outlier that, like, you can't even really comprehend. I'm sure there are some other, or like a Messi. Like, just literally, he could probably play 2 pro players and still... Other mirrors are interesting. TVT can be very interesting. Cyclones have kind of ruined it. PvP is entertaining. I don't think it has the strategical depth. And Zerg versus Zerg does have the strategical depth. I agree. But most people just see bugs crawling all over each other. And no amount of commentating how, wow, that's interesting. He went for that roach timing at this time. No. Like, remember, the average player hasn't played a 1v1 game since you started with 6 workers. Watching on YouTube, at least. If that. There's some that started with 4. Yeah, that's up there as well. Which is why I want Protoss to be competitive, even though buffing Protoss will make the ladder even more miserable. Because Protoss in best of ones against potato players like myself who don't have 400 APM is quite good. Up until, like, literally, I showed you the list. Look again. And then suddenly you get to rank 15, and the next 15, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 are Protoss. So of literally everyone but the best. And then there's Raynor as Protoss at 31, so like... so... Oh, a barcode Protoss, speaking of the devil. With a Kaczynski portrait and everything. Protoss got what, some vision buffs? Yeah. Sentry damage versus light.
More minerals required.
Or I mean, shield, sorry.
It's about time.
Wow, 4 years already.
Insufficient.
Let's make it to 5.
Not enough.
Give Cyclones mini EMPs? They kind of already have that. They have better than EMP. They have bonus damage to mechanical, which includes probes, sentries, stalkers, phoenixes, oracles, immortals, warp prisms. I told him I was Zerg, right? Well, his build was dumb either way. I think he may... Well... Yeah, I told... He was building 2 gates in his main, which... I think high diamond, low masters is a cesspool right now. Always has been, but especially. Because this is the level that all the sweaty nerds who think they're good and play a lot of games get to. Like, you get the barcodes, you get the smurfs. At least wannabe smurfs, at least. I didn't notice this at the bottom of diamond. But as we move up diamond towards masters, and I noticed this in low masters as well. This is the uncanny valley range of you're never gonna win anything important, but you can ruin this guy's day. Like, I do feel like it's significantly more than it was. Because this is the point where you start getting matched against like the 4K plus players as well. 3.5. It started around 3.5, I think. There's a noticeable difference. But and we did start by beating up on like high platinum, low diamond players, which legitimately felt like, even though they had maybe their build or something, felt like all legitimate high platinum, low diamond. I do feel like this is the level where filthy smurfs, like technically me to some extent here, end up. Also, fucking barcodes. Like, what are you doing? Need a 5-minute blink all in failure. I play bar. You think SC2 would be fun for someone who enjoys that? SC2 is the best, most technologically advanced RTS, though I wish there were some features from bar. I'm going to take Dark's advice here. I'm going to quote Dark, the most entertaining player in the game, when he says, you can have a lot of fun with SC2. And I quote, don't play ladder. Please, don't play ladder. But there's so much else as well, at least when you can access it. I think you bullet 1520 is... I just want Protoss to have cool stuff. I think if we want to do... honestly, I'm coming around to that sentry change even more. Like, just steal it from co-op. It's like a core part of co-op. Not the warping stuff. Just literally the siege mode for sentry.
Will be rewarded.
Thank you, Tiny Sprite. I like the Guardian Shield, like, long-term idea, but...
Go ahead.
This guy has a dark portrait. Appreciate.
SCV ready. I'm going.
Mineral quantity insufficient.
Will do.
From before his final boss... Well, I guess he's always been the final boss.
SCV ready.
But before his, like, villain arc phase. The wonders a mustache will do for intimidation.
Additional supply depots. More minerals required. Not enough minerals. More minerals required.
Thank you, Bullet 1520. Squeaky 3 Snow Mau Mau as well. Mau Moa, sorry. I just don't enjoy it.
SCV ready. SCV ready. Huh? What's go ahead. SCV ready.
Additional Vespine gas required.
Huh? In the rear. Bandit, what's going on? Ah! You scared me.
Mineral quantity insufficient.
What's going on? Go ahead. In the rear. Ah! You scared me. Huh?
Command center upgraded.
Yes, sir.
Hello.
You're the boss.
Interesting spawning portal. What are you up to there?
SCV ready.
I'm feeling like I keep trying to go Hellbats, but I've died repeatedly.
Big job, huh?
That doesn't mean the build was bad. That means it's a skill issue. All Terran units should be viable.
Need more Vespine gas.
Gas from above. What? You want something? On the way. Nothing I can't handle. Whole lot of pain. Fear the Reaper, man. All right. Fair enough. Yes, indeed.
Cannot build there.
What's it worth? SCV ready. Certainly. Done.
Got it.
I'm listening. What? You want something?
Bit dicey.
Add-on constructed.
SCV ready.
Take a seat over here.
Got something for me to kiss.
Not enough minerals.
SCV ready.
Mineral quantity insufficient. More, not enough energy.
Gas from above. SCV ready.
Oh, that's where Zoe went.
Add-on operation.
SCV ready.
I'm not gonna bother with trying to fake him out.
Armed and ready.
If I put the Marine here, it should be able to kill it without having to move. It's gonna be close though.
SCV ready.
Not enough minerals. More minerals required.
Son of a bitch. Why don't you scout my whole base?
SCV ready. In the rear. Got something for me. SCV ready.
I think we'll get Cloak.
Big job. What's it for? SCV ready.
Command center upgraded.
SCV ready. Yeah. I'm listening.
If I line it up right, I can... Oh, just run by. If you're gonna open up the base for me. That was very kind. Like, if he just walks away, I'm gonna go for it.
Ready to raise some hell.
Holla back.
Insufficient energy.
Are you? Where's the hot action? SCV ready.
No more creep. Draw the queens out of position.
Waiting on you.
Get off my lawn.
Sound?
Call the ball.
Light it up. I'm in a heap of trouble.
Weapons hot.
Talk to me, boss.
Loud and clear.
Ready to raise some hell.
Well, he had no detection. He didn't build any spores.
I got this.
Well, that was about the most standard Terran game. I was going towards mass Hellbat. even when he scouted you going starport. But then I ran in with the Hellions and killed like 20 drones, which has a tendency to be distracting. Yeah, I haven't had a occasion to go. Well, I could have gone Swarm House in that versus Protoss. What do we got here? Everyone's favorite. This is like, wow, I've played like no Protoss today. Of course, the only Protoss is going to be PvP. Everyone's favorite.
Not enough minerals.
Who doesn't love PvP? Tell me. The Ministry of Truth wants to talk to you.
Mineral quantity insufficient. Not
I'm too lazy. I just use single probe. Don't do it. Don't do it. Gonna do double chrono here on Probo. Bit of a macro player myself. So since there is no meta in PvP, that means everything's off meta. Or is it on? It's both simultaneously on and off meta. I mean, the meta is more like Blink or Stargate, like usually both, but it's barely visible through all the cheese. Essentially, every Protoss meta is maybe we go Stargate and then get Blink Stalkers. Or we just skip to Blink. That's every matchup at the moment.
must construct additional pylons. Mineral quantity insufficient. I'm here in the shadows.
Another solid meta play.
State thy bidding. I am
Here we go.
not warp this
There's the Stargate.
insufficient energy. Here in the shadows. You require my skill. Enemy no fury. Pylon under assault. I am here in the shadows. Cannot warp there. I am the voice of the eclipse. State we are one with the shadows. Cold is the void shadows.
Wasn't sure if he'd commit.
Research completed. I am the voice of the eclipse.
Thank you. That's what I was gonna do. He may repower that. I didn't actually kill the Stargate. So... we will see. I think he will.
Required.
No? Okay. Just getting extra confusing then. Will I have enough stalkers to make the difference here? He's got an immortal. Oh, I fucked up. I missed the entire volley. Now we gotta go. Well, I have Guardian Shield, which is actually pretty huge. Another immortal.
Not enough minerals. More minerals required. Mineral quantity.
See how this goes.
Insufficient. Not enough minerals.
Another classic meta play.
Required.
Either he has an obs or he doesn't. I think he saw the DT come in.
From the shadows I come. You seek our service. Khartoum. I will comply. The darkness. Fear is an illusion. You seek our service.
Let your will be.
Must be placed in power.
DT blink for discerning individuals.
Mineral quantity insufficient. From the shadows. Must be placed in power field. Fear. We. From the shadows. What would you ask about?
Intentionally showing that.
Not enough. New technology research. From the shadows. What
Well.
would you ask of us? I'm the blade of Shakuras. God, you seek our service.
The attack animation time is so long.
Warp there. Insufficient Vespine. Nasperu. Additional Vespine gas required. The darkness rises. Fear isn't a need. Vespine geyser required for warp. Insufficient Vespine gas. What?
I actually have no detection.
Under assault.
If he also went DTs, I could just die.
Field.
He may have this base.
Probes under attack.
My babies.
Upgrade complete. From the shadows I come. What would you? Additional Vespine pylons under assault. From the cannot. Insufficient Vespine. From the shadows I come. Mineral cluster expanded. Additional Vespine gas required. From the shadows I come. Insufficient Vespine gas. Need more Vespine gas. Cannot warp there. Let our enemy know our fury. Cannot warp there. I'm additional Vespine gas required. From the shadows I come. I pass in the twilight. What would you? Here is must be placed in outfield. Use. Pylon under assault. Must be placed in power field. Battle is upon us. Pylon under
New
assault.
subscriber detected.
Here is
You motivated me to play SC2 again after years of not playing at all.
Army.
I just don't do it.
Shadows high. Mineral quantity insufficient. Jungle in. Mineral must be placed in power field. Not enough. I am but a phantom. I will come. I bask in the twilight. Must be placed in power field. The darkness rides by the void. Mineral field depleted. Nexus point under enemy muscle tester. Expend insufficient from the shadows. I am the blade of what? Exhausted. Cannot need gas. Additional Vespine gas required. From the shadows I come. I bask. The darkness. Upgrade completed. Got to. You seek. Insufficient Vespine gas. From the shadows I come. From the shadows. Vespene Geyser cannot. Additional. Vespene gas revealed. Hide and button. Mineral field exhausted. Under assault. More Vespene gas cannot warp there. Cannot warp. Cannot warp there. Additional Vespene gas from the shadows.
So if you build the Nexus, that's the quickest way to get a super pylon. Because it becomes a super pylon almost instantly.
I am the blade of Shakuras. I am the tree. Clever.
Did you feel guilty? That was a meta play. Alright, I went Dark Templar Blink against Blink Blink. And Dark is better than most Protoss, so therefore Dark Templar. And I mean, they even built a shrine to him. So, like, it only makes sense. I can't be, so thoughtful. Figure out the gold bases. There's only one. The one on the top right isn't gold. DTs, when they can actually attack, do a lot of damage. It's just that second part is the hard one. I got. Did you use DTs because of his name? No. Remember that started with... Well, actually, I did rush DTs. I don't remember. Classic PvP. I don't remember what happened, but we ended up there. But I think that's going to wrap it up for the SC2 tonight. A solid 3 hours. I thought those were good games. I'm not going to tell you. It's usually PvP how we cap it off when I have a mental breakdown. But I do hope you enjoyed. I hope you've been enjoying the wrong units. It's forcing me to think a little outside the box, and we're getting to the point where it is quite a challenge. Like, now losing almost half the games, but still, I think, interesting. So hopefully on YouTube, you smash that like button, which, and stick around or refresh momentarily. We're going to play some backpack battles, which is also brain-numbing, but in very different ways. But we're going to restart on YouTube. On Twitch, don't go anywhere or else, because this is a real strategy game, and I'm going to be getting to Diamond and backpack battles as well today. That's the plan. GG's.